Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time for another movie review. This time out, it is Last of the Mohicans, which is the movie that you guys voted for in last week's poll for me to watch on from my unwatched list of movies that I haven't seen that I probably should have by now. Here's the back of the Blu-ray. This movie came out in 1992, directed by Michael Mann, was nominated for one Oscar, and it won that Oscar for Best Sound. When I put the film on, I completely forgot that Michael Mann had directed the movie, and so when I saw his name come up in the credits, I was really surprised and excited because I know Michael Mann's movies are usually visually stunning, usually action-packed, and I knew that I was in for a good time, and I really was. This movie is just short of 2 hours, and it went by really quickly, and I really enjoyed myself. I won't get too much into the plot, other than to say that Daniel Day-Lewis plays Hawkeye, aka Nathaniel Poe, who is a white man who was adopted at an early age into a tribe of Mohicans, and he fights along with them. They are working as trappers in the French and Indian War, and they manage to get hooked up with a British colonel and his daughters, Alice and Cora, and he falls in love with Cora, played by Madeleine Stowe, and he ends up having to protect these daughters from some Huron Indians led by Wes Studi's character, Magua, who are working for the French, and Magua actually has a particular vengeance against this British colonel and wants to wipe out these daughters because the colonel has done something terrible to Magua's family. I guess that I got more into the plot than I wanted to. But being that this is a Michael Mann film, the visuals are fantastic. The action is wonderful. A lot of fast-paced action scenes, a lot of action choreography. The upstate New York cinematography of I don't know exactly where this was filmed. I did not look into that. If it was upstate New York, it's pristine and beautiful up there. If it's not, whatever stood in for it is also pristine and beautiful. But it's just wonderful cinematography, very lush, very green. And the performances are top-notch across the board, but I want to call out especially Daniel Day-Lewis. Of course, I really shouldn't have to. He's won 3 Academy Awards. And while I was watching this film, I was just kind of trying to put the same, my mind in that this is the same guy that played Abraham Lincoln in Lincoln, and that was in There Will Be Blood, and that was in My Left Foot. And it's just amazing because he's such a chameleon when he plays in a film. Phantom Thread, all those films. So needless to say, he's a great actor, but Wes Studi as Magua gives a very intense performance here. He is actually, I think, gives a better performance, my hot take of the film, than Daniel Day-Lewis. He's just a very driven character, knows what he wants, knows how he's going to get it. He just smolders on screen when you see him. He's just really, really good. I wish he was able to get more parts that could showcase his power like this one does. But I walked away from this film thinking Wes Studi definitely needed to get more parts that could showcase his ability. And I know, being, a Native American actor, he probably is going to get pigeonholed into a lot of Native American roles, but I still think he could do anything, because he's got a very expressive face, and I really think that he deserved to be a bigger star than he ended up being. More of a character actor than anything, but I think he could be a lot more. But the other cast is great. Madeleine Stowe, Russell Means as Chingachgook, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Eric Schweig as Uncas, Jodie May as Alice, Stephen Waddington as Duncan Hayward. They were all good. Everybody's good across the board. But the story of the film, the romantic part, is where this film sort of faltered for me. I didn't really buy the romance, the sort of self-igniting romance between Cora and Hawkeye, Nathaniel Poe. It's supposed to be this blazing love story between them that, you know, you can't ignore the passion between the two of them, and I just really didn't buy it. Not as a fault of the performances of Madeleine Stowe and Daniel Day-Lewis, just as a result of the consequences of how it came to be. I don't think the film or the script sets that up as well as it could have. Maybe it could have happened that way. I don't know. It is a movie. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I just didn't quite buy it. And there's another problem I had with it that probably takes it down just a little bit for me. And the only reason I say it and I bring it up is because the finale hinges on this one continuity error. And if you want me to give it away, I will, but I won't do it in this video. So if you want to ask me about it, you can go to the new community thing on my channel and post a question there, and if I'll tell you there, but I won't do it in the video. But there's a continuity error in the film that makes the finale literally impossible. And I just kept thinking, this can't be happening. So it kind of took me out of the end of the movie, and I think that kind of ruined the end for me. So even though it's just a stupid continuity error, it ruined the ending for me. And, you know, it is my opinion, and as stupid as it is, it just took me out of the movie. So I still enjoyed it, though, overall. I think it's well worth seeing. I'm definitely sad that I didn't see it sooner. And I'm definitely sad that I didn't see it in the theater when it was running back in '92. But I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. One thing that I do want to mention, though, I went into this totally blind to the plot. And for some of you, that may be kind of interesting, or you might say impossible, because how do you not know what the plot of this movie is? Because this is a well-known novel by James Fenimore Cooper, and it's been made into movies before. The script of this movie is actually based on the 1936 version of the film, at least partially. And there are dozens of movie versions and film or book versions of this, and of course it's an original novel. And the character Nathaniel Poe is, of course, Natty Bumppo, which I had heard the name of but didn't put two and two together, and is apparently a very well-known character in American literature that is referenced culturally all over the place, and I had no clue. I'm just totally ignorant of the whole fact. So I learned that when I was doing some research after I watched the movie, so I feel like an idiot that it's completely gone past my head. So I definitely think this movie deserves a rewatch, and maybe I need to go back and actually watch the 1936 version as well, and maybe need to sort of reevaluate this a little bit, and not criticize at the end just because of the continuity error so much, because that would be kind of unfair. But I'm still holding to my 7.5 out of 10 rating. But I definitely need to do some more research into the whole Last of the Mohicans historical, give it the whole perspective of it, I guess. And I apologize if I seem a little out of it. I'm just sort of at a loss for words today, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Appreciate your patience. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. As always, I appreciate your attention span, and that's it. That's my review of Last of the Mohicans. I'm not putting a poll up for this week. I'm actually planning to see Weapons, hopefully either today or tomorrow. I've just had stupid errands and other stuff creep up, and I can't seem to get out to the movies to see Weapons. So I'm either going to see it later today or tomorrow. Tomorrow is Labor Day. That'll be my review for next Sunday. And then the following Sunday, I'm going to have a review of The Long Walk. So I know what my next two reviews are going to be. So I will put up another poll on September 13th, and we'll get back into voting for some reviews. But anyway, thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate every single one of you who's subscribed, and appreciate you listening to me babble about this movie today on my channel. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.